Hey guys, I'm Jay Mamie from thejmaymie.com. Excited to bring you another segment on how to thrive. So let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to another session here. As you can see, I've got the whiteboard behind me, so that means that we're getting down and dirty and taking instructional training today. You know, some of my trainings are motivational to an extent, not really. Some of them are inspirational, but I like to throw in there training that is instructional because I believe that it's the instructional part that really allows you to have paradigm shifts in the way you think, but also in skill development, which is important. What we're going to talk about today, though, is really what affects anyone that's in business. Whether it's our business, whether it's the business that you're in, whether it's a business you're thinking about getting involved in, or any effort that you are going to put forward into some pursuit, whatever that pursuit might be. I want to share with you in relative terms to what I do in my professional career also, that I think will enlighten and will sort of highlight the concept of allowing your efforts to compound. I've been in business long enough to know that I've met people that have done great things, and I've met people that have done moderate things, mediocre things, average things, and then I've had people who have never really got off the ground. And then those who really gave an attempt, but then they didn't allow their efforts to compound enough to see the manifestation of their efforts come to pass. And those are the people that quit too soon. And if you've been in business for a while, and I'm sure some of you have been in business for a while, you'll relate to what I'm sharing with you, that unfortunately in life, people oftentimes quit too soon because they get discouraged, because they don't see the results fast enough. They'll start on a particular journey or a particular habit that they're developing, and after a little bit of time, they decide that it doesn't work out for them, or they get discouraged because they don't see the result that they were hoping for. And oftentimes that's delusional thinking, to really think that you're going to see results right away. Or, I mean, seeing results right away is okay, but I'm talking about grand results. Usually that's not the way that it works when you're building something. It takes time. But it's in the time development where most people fall short. They get discouraged and depressed, and they end up leaving that opportunity or that venture way too soon. And it's interesting, they leave it when it was just about to take off. So I'm going to encourage you today, as we go through just a very brief instructional training, that you never want to quit too soon, because your efforts they need time to compound. And just imagine if you were a farmer and you took your seeds, and it was fall time, when usually, I'm not a farmer, but I know enough about it that I can make this analogy. And you take the seeds and you plant them, and 1 or 2 weeks later, you're looking at your field and not seeing anything happening and starting to get discouraged. And then you come back 2 weeks later and you get discouraged. And after about a month of that, you say, oh, this stuff don't work. This planting thing, this farming thing don't work. I'm throwing in the towel, right? You would never do that. Why? Because you understand it takes time for those seeds to do what they do underground. It takes time for your efforts to compound. You would never shortchange yourself of that because of an unrealistic sense of urgency to see that harvest come to pass, right? Well, same thing happens in business. You have to give yourself time to allow those efforts to compound. So I want to give you an analogy. It's sort of a financial analogy, but it is related to what we do, and here's what I mean. In the financial world, there's a rule that we practice, that we actually teach people, called the Rule of 72. The Rule of 72 is a financial principle. It talks about the power of compounding interest. And the way it works is, if you take 72 and divide it by whatever interest rate that you're earning, wherever your money is growing, you will have an indication as to how long it will take for your money to double. So for example, if you're earning 3% somewhere, 72 divided by 3, it takes 24 years for your money to double. Okay? That's a pretty long time. But let's say you were a little higher, and somewhere along the way you were able to earn a little bit more, and if your efforts, your interest earns you over the course of time 12%, then 72 divided by 12, the answer would be 6. So now your money's doubling every 6 years. not bad, right? Money doubling every 6 years, it's pretty solid. But let's just take it one more to prove my point. If your 72 was being doubled, was being divided by 18%, now that money is doubling every 4 years. In my line of work, we teach people that the higher the interest rate, the faster the money has the opportunity to double. Well, isn't that the same way it works in taking action? Isn't that the same way it works when pursuing something that's worthwhile? See, what happens here in that 18% in that 4 year, what happens along the way? Well, you still have to wait 4 years, right? You still have to wait 4 years. It's a pretty decent interest that you would earn, right? So the action is good. It's a good action, but you still have to wait 4 years. This action, speaking economically of this financial principle, earning a 12% is good action, but you still have to wait 6 years. I believe that people should apply this same concept to their own actions, their entrepreneurial actions, their relationship actions, their fitness actions. Boy, I could talk about that one, how people quit too soon because they don't lose the weight that they want to lose after a week of working out. Right? You got to allow those efforts to compound. So if it takes 4 years at very good action, you have to realize right now that even at your very best action, it's still going to take time. Now, in certain scenarios, certain situations, your action may yield result a lot faster, right? But rule of thumb says, and Murphy's Law says, that's probably not going to be the case. You have to be in it for the long haul. Why? Why the long haul? Because it'll give your efforts time to compound. It'll give your action interest time to compound. If you quit too soon along the way, when you do arrive at the place you could have arrived at, guess what? You won't be there to find out. You won't be there to reap those rewards. You'll miss it. I don't want that to happen to you. I want to encourage you today that you have to allow your efforts to compound. I hope you remember this rule of 72, but apply it in a way that helps you recognize that even if you get great return on your time, you get a great return on your investment of energy and effort and talent and entrepreneurial abilities, even if you just knock it out of the park, it still takes time to allow those efforts to really begin to compound. Don't shortchange yourself. Don't cut yourself too soon. Don't quit too soon. Give yourself the time to allow those efforts to compound, and you will reap those rewards that you desired to have when you got started in the whole deal in the first place. Hope this helps.